Hey, I'm John at Prehired, and we're doing another Prehired six-figure success story. So today we have Alicia with us in Loveland, Colorado, who recently just left her dog grooming background, worked many years in retail, and recently just joined a top sales team. So Alicia, appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. We'll just jump right into it. Could you tell me a little bit more about the or jobs you were doing prior to Prehired?
Yeah, so I originally actually started out, my first job was as a dog groomer. I was apprenticed there, and when I moved out of state, I ended up taking on the first retail job that I could get my hands on. I worked my way through several different retail jobs, moving up for different reasons, such as better opportunities, better money, better culture, and ended up back into dog grooming, which, while it's a great business, it's not really quite a job that you can see yourself doing for many, many years.
Gotcha. So then could you help me understand here? What were some of your biggest career struggles before you found Prehired?
Some of my biggest career struggles was because I didn't technically complete school. I was homeschooled, so I didn't have anything to help me get into college to try and get a degree or any kind of background like that. So I
Hmm.
felt like I was inadequate to move up into a higher paying job of any sort because I didn't have anything to say I am qualified or I can do this.
Gotcha. So then what did you try to do to solve those struggles before Prehired?
So, like I said, I did start getting back into dog grooming because it is definitely more lucrative than most retail jobs I'm in. And I was starting to look into some online schooling. Uh, yeah,
Gotcha. And I'm curious, so how did you hear about Prehired?
I heard about Prehired through my friend Steve. He's actually in the Prehired program as well, and he recommended he saw me one day talking to a potential client for dog grooming and told me that he thought I would be fantastic in sales. And he said, you really should try at least. Like, you should at least give the program a try, see if you can do this. I'm like, you know what? What do I have to lose?
Oh, awesome, awesome. So then, as you did your research with pre-hired, I'm assuming you probably ran into some hesitations, right? What was that biggest hesitation for you?
My biggest hesitation was because this was a whole different career for me. This was a big jump compared to what I was doing before. I was nervous. I was nervous and a little bit like, is this something I can actually do? A little bit of that imposter syndrome, I guess.
Gotcha. And then ultimately, what helps you overcome those hesitations?
Honestly, talking to the amazing people at Prehired, when I went in there and I told them my story, and they're like, yeah, it's like, you can do this. I came into my first interview with Caleb and told him that I'm not a very confident person, but then I started listing
Oh,
off some of my skills that made me want to, I felt like could make me be a great salesman. And he's like, you said you're not confident, but that's a lot of confidence behind your voice right there.
oh, Caleb. Yeah, and for what it's worth, definitely, because I'm sure like everyone has that initial self-doubt, right? When they go into the program, like it's very overwhelming when you look at it on like the surface level. But after talking to somebody and actually breaking it down, you're able to kind of like see like, oh, well, yeah, you might be right. It may be a little bit difficult at first, but if you're willing to put in the effort for it, you'll definitely be able to make it work, which was why we're here today. So with that being said, then when you went through the program, how long did the program take you?
The program took me, I believe it was about 5 weeks.
Mhm.
David mentioned that there was, it's when we if we can get through the program faster, the faster I can get into starting my CSP. So I went ahead every day after work. I would watch videos until about midnight, and then spend my days off watching as many videos as I possibly could. So
Nice.
I felt like I was working two jobs at once, but it was well worth it.
Absolutely. Alrighty. And so when you're going through the program, what did you enjoy most about it?
What I enjoyed most was honestly the very personal way that Josh was during the videos. He made you feel like you were a friend. He made you feel like you there was absolutely no way you couldn't possibly do this.
Gotcha.
And honestly, even watching the LeadIQ videos, there was so much creativity involved in it.
Oh yeah, LeadIQ videos are some of my favorite because it's kind of like, oh, this is different. I like it. But with that being said as well, when you're going through the program, I'm sure you had some moments where you're like, oh, this could be better, or I didn't like this, or this seems a bit weird. What did you feel could be better about our program?
The one thing I would say is I wish there was a way to search for specific videos, like a search engine, so you can type in like a word like HubSpot, or so when you want to find that specific video, instead of having to go through each one of them to find that exact one, it'd
Mm-hmm.
be great if you could just look up and then have like a small list to go through.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. Alrighty. And I know that we're about to wrap up here and we're short on time, so I'll just leave you off with one last question. Who would you recommend a program to?
Who would I recommend the program to? That's a good question. I honestly think someone like my sister would
Hmm.
be actually really great at this. She's also been through the same background that I've been in. She is actually about to become a mom this year,
Oh, congrats.
and I know that yeah, she's going to be staying at home for a while, but I know she also worries about the future with her husband and such, and they're just getting a house too. So
Oh,
she has a very personal attitude as well. So I think she'd be wonderful at a job like this.
awesome. Well, hopefully maybe she considers it and maybe want to look into it as well. And if not, who knows? But for what it's worth, Alicia, I know that we're about to wrap up here, so I appreciate your time. But for what it's worth, moving forward, if you have any questions, concerns, or just things that you want to talk about, we're always here to reach out for you. So let us know how we can help you throughout your journey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
So, all right.